This is just the last one. I was just unplugging it. That's good. No. This is just, I was just taking the last one. Yeah.
Oh. But also, we are missing this.
Are we?
Which is something that goes from here to here. The headset. So if we did it to people, you wouldn't be able to hear each other. So luckily right now we don't. But hey, how are you there, James?
I used your footage today in my class.
Hold on. Oh my god, I love that. Wait, hold on. Did you already hear
I did
it?
go live. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
I think Andy went down there.
You're supposed to bring it. Crazy. In Nipples? Let's see if they got the music. I remember looking up going, this random. And then of course, there was no storm that happened after that. There was hail coming down when I got home. Like, it's like God punishing us.
You were able to hear it? You tested?
Good evening and welcome to Westboro High School's Joseph R. Moetti Field for tonight's Midwalk boys soccer matchup between the visitors from Shepherd Hill Regional High School and your Westboro Rangers. Participating student athletes, coaches, and contest officials have worked diligently to prepare for tonight's competition. Please show respect and your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship for all in attendance. Ensure that your behaviors reflect the values that should be identified with these student athletes. Assume responsibility for your behavior and the behavior of those around you. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion will not be tolerated and will result in the removal from the competition. If at any time you require assistance, please call upon a school official. At this time, let's meet the teams, beginning with the visitors from Shepherd Hill. Number 1, senior Ryan Davis. Number 2, junior Daniel Adamuski. Number 3, senior Michael Sobachinsky. Number 5, junior Daniel Lincoln. Number 6, senior Tomas Pater. Number 7, freshman Juan Castaneda. Number 8, junior Adrian Roach. Number 10, sophomore Reed Sella. Number 11, junior Owen Condek. Number 12, senior Daniel Vitkus. Number 13, senior Alex Poirier. Number 14, senior Jack Barrows. Number 16, senior Sean Maple. Number 17, junior Anthony Booth. Number 18, junior Nathaniel Booth. Number 19, sophomore David Bro. Number 21, junior Daniel Gronette. Number 22, senior Dylan Fox. Number 23, junior Ryan Taylor. And number 24, junior Luke Poirier. And now for your Westboro Rangers! Number 2, junior Max Aries. Number 12, senior J.J. Alexander. Number 17, junior Simon Lear. Number 5, senior Matt Berger. Number 11, senior Quinn Campbell. Number 1, junior Will Coleman. Number 24, junior Miguel Da Silva. Number 8, junior Chris Dean. Number 25, junior Jack Ferraccia. Number 9, junior Will Glassman. Number 21, junior Andrew Ivolsky. Number 6, junior Jesus Katoria. Number 22, senior Simon Kavanaugh. Number 18, sophomore Thorne Mao. Number 26, junior Duran Mukibi. Number 27, junior Tyler Monaghan. Number 7, junior Say Nasir. Number 19, senior Reza Nasrullah. Number 23, senior Agon Prakash. Number 3, junior Ru Shenoy. Number 28, junior Tim Singleton. Number 10, senior Greg Steinberg. Number 4, junior AJ Tarzia. Number 16, senior Owen Bella. And number 13, sophomore Eugene Zhu. We now ask that you rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem. The Fighting Ram, Shepherd Hill is coached by Tim Cormier, assistant coach Pete DeCaro. Westboro boys are coached by John Hiller. He is assisted by Tom Newberry. Tonight, the coaches and student athletes would like to publicly thank and recognize the many officials that work high school games throughout the state of Massachusetts. Please help us show our appreciation with a round of applause for tonight's officials. Thank you.
Here with names of our guys. Oh, wait, I got Shepherd Hill.
Is it on the back? Yes, sir. No, we're good. We were good.
Here we are for senior night. Just kicked off.
Ball quickly went out of bounds. Really nice opening ceremony. Great announcer, Andy Sklar, getting both the players and the crowd revved up. Have to put on my glasses here, just a reality here.
Entering the game, number 27, Tyler Monahan. Leaving the field, number 12, J.J. Alexander.
Case in point, you're going to have great announcing all game long from Andy, telling who is coming into the game right now. Tyler Monahan throwing the ball in. I think that's Nick Ferretia, who was just handling the ball. It kind of kicked out into our side of the field. Back throw, crossing over to Tyler Monahan again. Bringing across the middle, a little tricky there, but able to clear it. That was number 4. Actually, don't have that. Heard the name. Now that's quite a cross there to number 11, Quinn Campbell, one of the captains. Greg Steinberg just pushing the ball. Tyler kicking it across, came into the middle. Trying to pick up the jersey numbers for Shepherd Hill. Greg Steinberg tries to get it down the line and cross it. It was kicked. Actually is a corner kick. Taken by Tyler Monahan. Nice kick that came across the goal mouth, cleared through, actually came through. Not sure if that was off the foot of one of their defenders, but they were able to clear. That's number 14, Jack Barrows, who was trying to handle the ball. Kicked out
think it's being taken, or was going to be taken by Ayush. Oh no, that may have been, sorry, Agam. Ball's coming across to Greg Steinberg, back to Tyler Monahan. Pushed outside to Quinn Campbell. That's a nice combination. I think you're going to see that throughout the night. Number 16 gets his arm out a little bit, but no call. That was Sean Maple kind of putting some physical presence on Greg Steinberg, who I think is putting pressure on the strong side here. AJ Tarzio was number 4, who I did not mention before, so we'll keep an eye on him today as well. Number 7, that's Saad Nazir. I think he's the 3rd brother to come through the program. Very successful family in Westboro soccer. Ball's pushed up to the midfield by Shepherd Hill. Jack Barrows seems to be one of their big playmakers. Also one of their tri-captains, along with number 16, Sean Maple, and number 1, Ryan Davis, who, given the number, may be their goalie. Ball's kind of put to the backfield. Number 6 brings it forward to Mek Batar. Ball's kind of kicking around between some of our players. Luckily, we're able to kind of break it up. Again, we're coming down the strong side. One more time between Quinn Campbell and Greg Steinberg. Tyler Monahan gets the ball across the field. It's kind of scooped into, I think that might be Ayush. That is Agam. A little bit of give and go, but it didn't quite connect. Ball's coming out to the midfield, taken by, again, one of their major playmakers, Jack Barrows. He's pushing it outside. I think that's 21. Dan Gronick. Number 24 is in the backfield, Luke Pryor. He gets it to the outside right. Nice look there by Agam. Again, we have a nice switching of the fields to Tyler Monahan, who's both got some speed and some space. A nice push through, but cut off by number 16, I believe, Sean Maple, one of the captains, as I mentioned. Ball gets pushed out to Tamak Patar, coming across the middle. Looks like number 8 is currently managing the ball. Adrian Roach. A little push off by number 12, Dan Vitkus. Somehow that was contact made by Quinn Campbell or someone across the way. So it's a Shepherd Hill throw-in. I'm going to get to know this guy well. Jack Barrows trying to manage the ball down the line, but is kind of stymied in his forward momentum by Tyler Monahan. Nice throw comes to Agam. That's Saad Nazir. And no high kick called. We're doing some nice job switching the field, both from the back forward, but also up the side. I think what you're seeing happen as this season progresses for Westboro, I noticed this when I was here for the Saturday game against Neshoba. There's a sense of timing and chemistry, shades of unselfishness where they are pushing the ball to the best opening, letting the player come underneath it, or finding the player who's calling for it. That's a sense of maturity for a team to be able to do that. No call here. That was, delayed call, actually. I'm not sure that Shepherd Hill's going to be happy with that. I want to say that is, I want to feel like his name is Jack. 25. No, that's Nick Ferrecia. He had a lot of momentum. They kind of got their foot on it, but he kept going. But they called this against Shepherd Hill. So the ball's being taken at about between the almost midfield line. It's going to be taken by Chris. Nice ball. That's Chris Dean who took that, one of the captains. Chris is the junior captain. A few years ago when my son Jeremy was a captain, he was playing with Icaro Vieira, and Icaro was a 2-year captain, which is what Chris will line up to do as well. And his older brother was a captain as well. So it's definitely in the family. Charlie was his older brother, who was the captain as a senior the year after Jeremy and Icaro were captains with Jack Phelps. The other captains for the team are Agam, Prakash, Quinn Campbell, and Greg Steinberg. So you have 3 senior captains and 1 junior captain. Kind of a battle, fairly even between both teams. No one has really dominated one side of the field. I think better possession definitely by Westboro. It's a good crowd here tonight. Few people from Shepherd Hill made the drive. So a nice fan base here for senior night. A beautiful night after biblical storms overnight. Cross came across. I actually think Quinn Campbell was a little surprised that got to him. He'll be thinking about that for a while, but there'll be more opportunities because the setup was really nice. Speaking of last night, I did talk to the coaches before the game. They did play down in Nipmuc and won 3-0 yesterday, bringing their record to 8-4. So with tonight and one more game left, they are in really solid positions for the Central Mass Tourney. I think that will ultimately be decided on probably Friday. I think play could start as early as Saturday, and that is now the precursor to the very detailed, lengthy, true state championship bracket. It used to be basically a 2-game state championship. If you won your district, you played a semi, and then you went to the final. Now you have to play 6 games. Looks like we got a little bit of a setup. Very outnumbered, but Shepherd Hill is holding the ball. I don't know what's happening. Westboro packed in 5 guys. Right now, Shepherd Hill is, they were able to take the ball away at one point around midfield from Westboro. The good news is we had people back. We gave Shepherd Hill a few minutes to try to get organized, but they ended up turning the ball over themselves. So that kind of was a missed opportunity. Kind of a smart play by the defender there, shielding the ball. I think that's number 6, Tomek Patar, I believe. You can feel the energy shift a little bit. I think Westboro's settling in. I don't know the sequence of scoring, but to beat Nipmuc in Nipmuc 3-0 says one of 2 things. It would surprise me that Nipmuc is down this year. They're always a very competitive team. Former state champion, definitely a district winner several times coming out of the Swickle. And I think it's, Dew Valley, I think. And we have had a hard time as a program going and winning at Nipmuc. So to beat them 3-0 is really noteworthy. So we must have had to play a pretty complete game. Nice pass through by Samir. I'm sorry, that was Ayush Kataria.
Corner kick, Westboro.
So pressure is being felt on Shepherd Hill in their defensive end. I think this is the third corner kick. Nice curve, headed out by number 3, Mike Sobachinski. What I'm noticing is this is probably a good sign if the trend holds up. Westboro is able to retrieve the ball on Shepherd Hill's side of the field. So even if the ball is getting cleared out of the defensive third, Westboro has a both tactical and possibly a strategic advantage of constantly getting the ball back, setting back up and reloading. In this case, we went all the way back but switched fields. Tyler Monahan now has, and you can tell this is a very well, Greg Steinberg fights for the ball, does a cross, and just went behind. Beautiful play. And I want to say that was Ayush Kataria. We've got a little dance going on there. I guess this is they're rowing the boat. All right. Nice. You can tell they've rehearsed that somewhere in their practice time. I believe that will be attributed to Ayush Kataria. What I don't know is how many goals these gentlemen have scored or assists, but I know Ayush's name has been mentioned to me on a few occasions by Coach Hillier in terms of the team's performance. And what I think is also reassuring is that while the tempo came down a little bit for Westboro, the sense of focus did not. And in almost a surgical kind of way, they kind of carved up the Shepherd Hill defense. Like I was saying, the tactical became strategic when they could keep the ball in this end of the field. They had a nice break where Greg Steinberg got around the player. It came into the middle, and then Ayush was able to ultimately get hold of the ball. There was a little bit of traffic in front of him, and I think that set up a nice shot toward the corner of the net with good little English on it. It's kind of skipping a little bit. The goalie, I don't think, really had a shot at it. The speed and the accuracy was noteworthy. And I actually, what's interesting is having worked with Coach Hillier, I was on his staff for 4 years, one of which was as his assistant varsity coach. He is not an overly emotive guy. You didn't see him doing, like, high fives. He's like, guys, like, I know you just scored and the row the boat is cool, but, like, don't lose your focus. He's already in playoff mode. He is trying to prepare this team for playoffs, and part of it is character. And even though guys this age love to do all these little selfies and, showy things, you got to watch that line of it not being respectful of your competition. Word travels fast, and if the Shepherd Hill coach thought that might not be the best look, something might be said, and that really doesn't play well, not only with Coach Hillier and Coach Tom, his assistant, but I know that our AD, Joanna DiCarlo, really is as patient as could be about that kind of stuff. She's really big on sportsmanship.
Goal scored by junior number 6, Ayush Katoria. Assist from number 10, Greg Steinberg, the senior captain.
So I think looking back, this is now the 5th year that Coach Newberry has been working on Coach Hillier's staff. I finished up in 2016. 2017, we were kind of recalibrating, and then 2018 beyond has been when Coach Newberry has worked with Coach Hillier. They are longtime friends and actually have coached in club together. This is their 5th year running the program here at the varsity level. This is, I want to say, the 9th year for John as head coach. Started in 2013 when I was his JV coach. He's probably pushing 150 wins, which is nice, but John is kind of like Belichick. He wants the team to play well. It's not about what he has for a record. It's what these guys can do. I think when he talked to the group after they scored, I think he really was giving a pep talk like, guys, play your game, be your team. Don't play to the crowd. Don't be too showy. You have to play consistent ball now at a high level to be ready for the really tough competition that's coming up, including this Thursday. We are in Midwalk A. We are 3-4. We amazingly, I'm thrilled to say this. No, I'm sorry. We are 4-3. We have beaten Algonquin and Leominster twice. I don't know the last time that's happened. First of all, we used to never play them twice. But to be in Midwalk A and to beat both of those programs 2 times in the same regular season is significant. I think it's a little bit of a down year for Algonquin. Leominster probably doesn't want to admit that they're not quite the team they think they are. The team to beat is Shrewsbury. We lost 0-1 here on a very competitive game a couple weeks ago, but we have to go play them for our season finale on Thursday night under the lights for, I'm sure, their senior night. I do not think Shrewsbury's lost a Midwalk game. I'm not even sure if they've lost a game, which could actually be our strength, that we are actually on a nice little run here. We've won, I think, 5 games in a row. And I'm sure the team is feeling it, and I know John wants to harness that. This is our sophomore goalie, and I'm looking down the list here because I heard his name, and it's a pretty cool one. I am not sure exactly. It might be 19. Reza Nasrullah, I think, is the goalie who's in net. He is an impressive player. He reminds me of Matty Morin in terms of his quality of play. He was with the team last year. So right now, I think Westboro has a junior and a sophomore goalie. That is awesome. And they have a very talented junior group, which will reload extremely well for next year. Oh, yeah. Boy, did that look great, but it also looked very offsides. So that was a nice look by, I think it was number 2, Max Aries. If that's true, Max is I know you don't want to be known by your older sister, but his sister was last year's captain and star player for the GSOC team, and she now is playing at Tufts University and doing a really nice job, as I understand it. Max is a junior, so he will be part of that group that will have another crack at this next year. Ball played nicely between Quinn Campbell, Greg Steinberg, and Saad Nazir. What's really nice about the Westboro team is there's just so many combinations. I mean, right there you've got Agam Prakaria, who can do a lot with the ball in a very dangerous way. And Agam Prakash, sorry. Ball's kind of headed out toward the side by number 16, Sean Maple. But it is turned over again. And again, this is Agam Prakash. Kicks the ball, gets it kind of chopped to the side to Quinn Campbell, who tries to kind of maneuver, but number 12 is able to pick it off his foot, Dan Vickus. Pushed outside again by Tamak Patar. Tomic is what I would call a journeyman. He's not the biggest frame athletically, but he's nimble, and he's able to get his foot in and poke the ball away. He's probably a pretty important part of that defense, which I'd say is a little vulnerable at this point for Shepherd Hill. Records are records, and they mean something, but they don't mean everything. It appears from what I'm reading that Shepherd Hill comes in at 5-6-3, which means they've already played 14 games, which is really interesting. They, I believe, are now in the Midwalk B, which is where we used to be a couple of years ago. They are getting their first corner of the night, and I believe this is Mike Sobachinski who's taking it. Whoa, that's quite a kick. Unfortunately, it was over the head of one of his players.
Now entering the game for the Westboro Rangers, number 17 junior Simon Lear. Number 9 junior Will Glassman. Number 3 junior Rue Chenoy. And number 16 senior Owen Bella.
So Will Glassman is here on our side of the field. What I watched about Will was something that I remember when my son Jeremy and his friend Noah Garvey were playing outside mids. He is a touchline kind of player. You will not see Will move too far in. Right now he's on the large strip of the football sideline, but he mostly plays from that side all the way to the yellow line consistently. And he created a lot of opportunities in the game that I saw against Neshoba. Not only in terms of his athleticism, he was very consistently always up when he needed to be and always back. So that is one of the hardest things in the job of an outside midfielder, is to make those runs and to do so very consistently and very patiently. And you see he's very aware of who he's covering, number 12, Dan Vickus. Again, he is a junior. He just subbed in. You will see, I think, some really nice things from him tonight. But he shows a lot of promise for next year. And I think he's been a nice part of their success as this season has advanced. Again, this is from the other side. Mike Sobachinski is taking it. He's a right footer. But, yeah, that was textbook. Wow. So you have a nice combination between their captain, Sean Maple, who is a big guy, and boy, did he walk right through. Oh, boy. I can tell Coach Hillier and Coach Newby are not happy about that. We kind of fell asleep there. I don't know if you thought, well, it's an outside kick.
Scored by number 16, Sean Maple. Assist from number 1, Ryan Davis.
So that actually.
Assist from number 3, Michael Sobachinski.
So you better watch out, because set plays can kill you. And this was only their second corner kick, so they are at 50%. They converted in a big way. That was a big message. There were a few things that have to be looked at there. What was the coverage scheme? I didn't hear a lot of talking. Their goalie, I think, possibly could have come out a little bit more, but I think he was probably being just a little bit cautious. But it didn't matter, because if anything, if he came out further, he'd have been behind Sean Maple, who got his head squarely on it. There was no one between Sean Maple and the goalie, and that's not okay. That puts us in an interesting position where we are now tied, and there is just over 10 minutes left in the first half. Let's hope that they can use this as a really good learning opportunity for not only this game, but for the future, because in a tight game in the playoffs, that could kill you. I mean, that could be the goal that takes you out. And that is a very preventable goal. It was a beautiful kick and a really nice header. But they did not feel much pressure. They were able to really dictate what to do on that set play. I think you can feel a little momentum swing here. Shepherd Hill is starting to gain some possession. They are also not being cautious. They're pushing up. They've got guys almost on the 10. They're going for this. They've got a direct kick just off of midfield and a boomer. Yeah, exactly. Wow. I want to say that was Owen Kondek, who between the 40 and 50-yard line took a direct kick. And it went off the crossbar. I'm sure the goalie is like really breathing a sigh of relief. Again, there too, I think the only difference on this kick was, do you get in front of it and possibly deflect it? I don't know. I felt like we were ball watching a little bit, but the ball had so much potency to it that I don't know if anyone could have touched it. I mean, I think this is where you're just grateful for the height of the crossbar, because if it were an inch higher, that would have gone right underneath it. And what a difference. We would have been down 2-1 within a span of 3 minutes. Nice play by Westboro. They're crossing the field, trying to use as much space as possible, trying to get organized. I think this is Christine that's got the ball. He's pushing to the side. I think that's number 10, Greg Steinberg. It goes to number 9, Will Glassman. Nice shot. Oh, that's what you need to do. Beauty. So what did I just say? Will Glassman, what I call stealth, he got a nice push from Christine, gets the ball. He had a little space. He took a beauty of a shot. That goalie had to do like a hockey kick save, and it went right into the middle, and Westboro did not stop playing, and Saad Nazir was right there to bury it on the rebound. That is the sign of a very mature team that is poised. Just a few minutes ago, you could say, uh-oh, what's going on here? We almost gave up a second goal, and a minute later, we get our second goal. This could be a really interesting game. So we're 13 minutes out from halftime.
Number 7, junior Saad Nasir. Assisted by number 9, Will Glassman.
That was a really nice combination. Not only will I think you see that again tonight, but that could be a really tough combination for the competition come time for the playoffs, because both of them barely handled the ball. They did not over dribble. Will Glassman had a great shot right on target with difficulty for the keeper, and I want to say Saad Nazir one-touched that. That is going to be difficult for the competition to handle. Coming in as one of your captains.
Number 10, Reed Cizella. Now entering the game for the Rangers, number 23, senior Egam Prakash.
You may have noticed there was not a celebration after the second goal. I think a message may have been delivered. And I will say, I was on many a sideline where it got a little chippy. In fact, I remember a senior night not too long ago under the lights where playing Shepherd Hill, it was a little bit of a meme party of like how many photo ops can you get for your goals with the little salsa dancing and the selfies, and it is kind of funny. And, you know, they get it from the pros. So nice push out by, I think that's Agam. No, that was Greg Steinberg. Right here, I feel like we need a little bit of communication. We had two guys covering the ball, but Oh, 21 was calling for a handball. Dan Gronick. I want to say it was considered incidental by the referees. This is also a moment where hopefully we don't pick up too much off the audio here, but there was a moment of polite request to honor and respect our referees and make sure that the crowd manages their conduct with comments and heckling of any sort. In this case, the play went our way. So, and it turns out we have a direct kick just outside the box here. Number 6, Ayush Kataria, looks like. Ooh, you can tell that was a nice, well-rehearsed play. And I will say there was a little confusion on the Shepherd Hill back line. Ball almost bounced the way that Westboro was looking for. I want to say this is Agam Prakash who's taking the corner. Headed out, but not outside of the offensive third here. Ayush Kataria is able to manage the ball, gets the ball back from Greg Steinberg. Nice cross. Ooh. I want to say that was some nice physical play by, I want to say that might be Christine, but I think I might, 17. That's Simon Blyer. And Simon did come into the game recently, so that's a nice look by number 17. He almost muscled his way through. The goalie had to make a big save there for Shepherd Hill. Ooh, nice push. Nice attempt by Christine. He gets pushed off the ball. 10, who I think subbed in for Shepherd Hill. Reeds Zaleka, Zella, maybe Zella. Was able to play. One thing that needs to be noted is Shepherd Hill used to be in Midwalk A. So there was a shift where maybe population-wise we got bigger, they got smaller, because I think they moved down, we moved up. But, like, for a very long time, Shepherd Hill played Leominster 2 times, Algonquin 2 times, Wachusett 2 times, and Shrewsbury 2 times. They were the 5th team. Now we're that team. So it's kind of interesting on senior night to have sort of the other team of Midwalk A, past and present, battling each other. What's interesting is I think Midwalk B that we were in has a very impressive Marlboro team running a bit amok against their competition. I think I read recently that they were close to undefeated, trying to size up their opportunity to be a very potent force that I believe will also be a Division II playoff team, which, let's be honest here, we're probably going to face them at some point if we're going to make any kind of a serious run in the state tournament. It won't be long before hopefully we're broadcasting a game or two here at night in late October, early November. Whoa, that was a nice pass. Ooh, very quick. It kind of deflected very calmly. Again, I want to say this is Raza Nasrallah, 18. John Mall. John Mall is the keeper. John did a really nice job. He did not overreact. The ball kind of had a weird skip, but he was able to kind of show some presence. Definitely getting colder here. It's going to affect a few things in the game. It's going to.
For Shepherd Hill, number 10, Reed Cizella.
Looks like we've had a few guys sub out. It's nice to see.
The game for the Rangers, number 5, senior Matt Berger. Number 22, senior Simon Cavanaugh. Number 25, junior Jack Varechia. Varechia? Am I getting close?
Where's he did say Jack, right? Did he say number 25? Yeah, because sometimes a John is a Jack, but I don't see. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on that. There's a few legacies here. So Will Berger was a senior when my son Jeremy was on the team. These guys were freshmen. The seniors now were freshmen when Jeremy and Will came through, and now Matt Berger is a senior. So that's how quick time flies. Looks like Matt is playing the outside. I'm trying to remember what formation these guys are playing. I'm looking at how they're setting up. It's hard to say if they're doing a 4-3-3. I don't remember them talking about that. They could be doing a 4-5-2. And the outside mid on the left side would be Matty Berger. Trying to track. I think the gentleman who's got the ball is the Gentleman Jack. Gentleman Jack. Totally different reference here. Who I believe I was tracking because I feel like I've heard his name. So maybe he's listed as Nick, but really goes by Jack. That's what I've always kind of known him that way, and I've seen him play. And he looks like he is playing one of the two top offensive players along with Agam Prakash. But they could be playing a 4-5-1 the way I look at it, because playing way up top is Agram. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is not Agram. That is number 23, who I think came. Oh, that is Agam. Wow. Okay. Looked a little different. So Agam is playing up high. The ball's coming back to Greg Steinberg, who pushes through. And again, there's Will Glassman, and he gets the ball across. I'll tell you, he is lethal because he is the ultimate journeyman, but even more so. He is consistent. He is precise. He is stealth. He knows how to manage that line. He does not run ahead of the last defender, but he is fast. And when he gets the ball, he oftentimes pushes it one or two touch, and he can angle it back across the goal mouth. And if he can do that enough times, this thing could open up. They could start to really have a way with Shepherd Hill, who I think is still trying to figure out how to manage the offensive flow of Westboro. This was a little chip shot by number 8, Adrian Roach. Number 14 ran under it, but he didn't really have a chance at it. That was Jack Barrows, their captain. But again, John Mall, our keeper, made a really nice play. What a push by Christine to there again, Will Glassman. So you see, so I got to say, that was a gutsy play and lucky by what I believe is number 6. And I think I have called him out as a really essential part of that defense. Tomek Patar is also fast. So it's a really fun matchup to watch Will Glassman against Tomek Patar. And Tomek, for his size, is very physical. He really, I think, kind of impressively got Will pushed off and was able to shield the ball and get this as a goal kick. But that could have almost been called as a penalty. We did just get a penalty, I believe. Again, Jack Varechia went down. He got knocked off the ball, and we have, I want to say, I guess this is a direct kick. And Tyler Monahan is taking the kick out between, just above the 20-yard line. not a bad idea, but it didn't have enough height. He tried to chip it across the left side of the top of the penalty box where our guys were running through, but it actually went off one of their defenders. We got the throw in. That should have been called. Wow, that was a high kick by number 3, Mike Sobachinski. But that was not called against Shepherd Hill. You're starting to see the game get a little bit more physical. Both sides are showing a little bit of dominance. This is their captain. I did not see how he went down. I think he got knocked down in that play. I don't know if words are being exchanged or if that was just Christine doing the right thing, coming over and checking on Jack Barrows. None of us want to see a player injured. I don't know if he went down awkwardly on his right ankle. I'm going to say this looks like a high ankle injury. He is putting not a single ounce of weight on it.
Get some appreciation applause for number 14, Jack Barrows of Shepherd Hill.
Well, and you got to believe he's probably, yes, he is a senior. So he is possibly playing in one of his last games. I think in the Central Mass tournament, unless you are, I might be mistaken, unless you have a certain low-level record, I think there are a number of teams that make that tournament. It's kind of it's almost what I would call like a jamboree, because like it's a bragging rights, but it doesn't earn you a particular trophy. But if you do well in the Central Mass tourney, it does translate into your seeding for the state playoffs. But I'm not sure that every team in Central Mass makes it. And I don't know, with the record that Shepherd Hill has of 5-6-3, if they would make it there. It used to be a threshold. You had to have a certain number of points. And if this score...
First half, Shepherd Hill 1, your Westboro Rangers 2.
If this score holds, Westboro would go on to a 9-4 record, which means they now have... Let's, again, not get ahead of ourselves, but let's say they do win. That would put them at 22 points. It used to be to make the central, what the heck did they call that? Districts. You had to have 18 points. So Westboro technically would have already qualified for that. My understanding of the Central Mass tournament, because you got to remember, they're only going to play 14 regular season games. Then the Central Mass tourney, and they're guaranteed 2 games. But if you keep winning, so you could get your 18 games that we used to get no matter what. You could get your 18 games, which I think might mean you're either playing in the Central Mass tournament final or you're winning it. And then you could play another 6 games. I think it's a 6-game state tournament. So you would be up to 24 games if you won the whole thing. So this is where, like, this team has to take care of itself health-wise. And, like, let's just say that Shepherd Hill makes this tournament. You want Jack Barrows. I mean, he's one of their captains. He struck me as one of their best players coming out early in this game. I'd say the temperatures dropped here a good 10 degrees, wouldn't you say? Yeah. We're seeing our breath. Welcome to late fall here. Sort of like football season, this is soccer season. The chill... I'm probably one layer too few. I might even put my hood on here. So we stand at halftime with a score of 2-1. So I'm a big Syracuse fan, and I love Jim Boeheim. And John Hillier is one of my close friends, and he reminds me of Jim Boeheim. He's like a professor out there as the coach. All he's missing is the schematic. He doesn't have the whiteboard where he's like drawing it all out, but he knows this truly. He's like kind of like a coaching savant. You just know, and he's a teacher. So like you can see the teacher in him instructing his team. He's very calm and even, and they're a nice pairing because Tom Newbury just knows not only a lot about just how to work with John, but knows a lot about what he wants to get from these players, and works very closely with them in drills. They know that this team has enormous potential. I think the challenge we have in Westboro is we always have a ton of potential. We are held to a high character and conduct standard, and I just am going to say this once. Not all programs in Central Mass go that way. So now you have to play at a high level consistently and not be rattled by other programs that might not quite hold that as sacred. And when you get into playoff time, that is a tricky combination where an unselfish, highly skilled team has to play disciplined and has to play without too much emotion. Enough emotion to play with adrenaline, but not enough to get overly rattled and start creating fouls. And I don't think John's team this year has suffered that. I've seen a few moments where his team has kind of gotten a little bit physical. I think a couple of times it's burnt them with a couple of kicks that maybe have resulted in scores against them. Only recently have they started scoring. I think the biggest win they had before 2 weeks ago was like a 2-goal differential. But I also think with the victory last night at Nipmuc, which again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's impressive to beat Nipmuc in Nipmuc 3-0, and you did it in the rain on a grass field. Like that's significant. And so I think that is the maybe 5th shutout that the Westboro boys soccer team has netted this year, and I think they don't even have 10 goals scored against them. I know I want to knock on something that looks like wood as I say that. I'll just, on the closest thing, I don't want to be a, ominous person to say it'll change tonight. I think actually if this score were to hold, the 10th goal scored on them for the year was in tonight's game. So when you hold your competition that includes the likes of Wachusett, Leominster, Shrewsbury, and Algonquin, and Nipmuc, and Bromfield, and Neshoba. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out. Groton Dunstable. That's impressive. That is extremely impressive. I think we are now surpassing 20 goals that we have scored. So we have doubled our output of scoring to the number of goals that we have let in. The other thing that you might not be able to pick up here is that this is a conversation. This is a very sort of traditional style of John and Tom. They are having a conversation with their team. They're letting the team tell him what they need to do. He is a believer in almost like the flipped classroom. He wants the team to empower themselves. They know what to do. He trusts his leaders. You see a hand up right now. It's like he's doing like a little symposium outside. I think that's Agam Prakash, who's one of the captains, is talking about what they're seeing on the field. They're actually analyzing it. And again, I don't blame Shepherd Hill for doing a little warm-up, because that on a cold night, that's going to keep you from getting tight. Maybe we might look back and say we should do a little bit more of a warm-up. But John's a big believer in strategy, so he will probably talk to that team shortly before the 3 minutes are out on the halftime. He normally does not do little warm-up circles, but you've got, it appears to be 3 of the leaders now for Shepherd Hill toward the top of the circle. Number 24, Luke Poirier with number 3, Mike Sabachinsky, and number 16, Sean Maple. Sean is one of the captains. And I am noticing that Jack Barrows is on the sidelines working with some of the staff, putting some weight on that right ankle. I think it's the right ankle. But I'm not sure how much time you're going to see him play. And that will be interesting because I think that happened right before halftime. So, you know, if you're a team that plays on emotion and one of your top players is out, and I'm watching him, he's putting very little weight on that. He's got his arm up on one of his teammates. He's going to become like that warrior teammate leader who's going to maybe try to will them from the sidelines and will the team rise up and win one for Jack, play above their level. He is walking on a little bit. Again, not knowing how many games are left for Shepherd Hill, and as a senior captain, of course you'd want to get out there if you think this might be it. But I also notice he's putting his sweatshirt on. So we're switching sides here. Number 18 again is staying in goal. This is our sophomore goalie, a tremendous addition to the team, Jack Male. I might be saying it without the right accent. He reminds me of some players I've seen in the English Premier League. He just has a really presence, both height and kind of athletic style. And I think he's come in with a nice resume as a keeper. Not uncommon to see the huddle. This is a very common tradition over the years where the team comes together. This is a way of them willing themselves, motivating themselves. Probably one of the captains is leading them. I'm looking around, and I think you might have, likely you do, all four captains. Agam Prakash, who's one of the captains, is on the... I'm watching their formation. Is this possible that they do this? I'm really not sure their formation, but kickoff isn't always the best indicator. Ball's kind of put over the top. It is headed out of contention by number 17, Tony Booth. There was some kind of a set play. You had four guys up top for Westboro on the kickoff. Ball kind of bounces outside past Max Aries. Elsa is his sister's name. Elsie Aries. Number 3 looks like they're going to throw in here. Mike Sobachinsky, again, he is the person who got the assist for them. Nice throw. Kind of bounces past. Max Aries able to kind of retain the ball. 16 is a player that I think I said you'd probably see a lot of. That's Sean Maple. But the ball is picked off by Jack Ficaria, pushed up, but there's no one there for Westboro. I'm not sure who their goalie is. Oh, actually, they're really probably Dan Adamuska is their goalie. I'm looking. I don't see any of the goalies listed. Who's playing a good game. I mean, I'd say probably not the most fleety. Oh, that is onside. Not a bad play. The ball got pushed from the middle out. Sean Maple, again, part of that play. Number 12, Dan Vitkus, was able to get almost a 1 foot shot, but it came down, handled pretty easily by John Mala in goal for us. He kind of fell down on the ball and made sure it didn't bounce over him. The ball just kind of went backwards on us. John's calling for it. He has the ball. I noticed we don't, maybe I'm wrong. We haven't actually had many times where the keeper's had the ball such that John strikes me. No, he's going to kick the ball away. Nice punt over the midfield line and actually could roll the right way, but there again is Will Glassman coming up the other side. I tell you, they are underestimating that young man. Oh, ball's pushed. That was, I want to say, Agam Prakash pushed it to Will Glassman. Kind of one-timed it, but he kind of had the angle off. But that was a little scare for Shepherd Hill. they definitely underestimated not only how they passed it back, but that Will Glassman is that fast. All right, balls switch sides between Max Aries, and now you've got number 6, Ayush Kataria, pushing up. The ball was put out of bounds by Luke Poirier for Shepherd Hill. Quick throw in. Max Aries gets a hold of it, kind of pokes it across the middle. Headed out first by Shepherd Hill, but managed by Westboro, who's able. All right, so I want to say that might be Tyler Monahan. Tyler was pushing the ball through, and they got part of his foot. So we have a direct kick, maybe indirect. Yeah, Tyler Monahan. So I'm not sure. Let's see what they do. Sometimes they fake it, or maybe it is indirect. I can't tell. That's on the ground. Ooh, nice little play. That's a nice little play. Complicated, though, because it requires almost like a pinball machine. It has to bounce the right way through the traffic, but they played it on the ground. But they had guys open on the outside looking to be the release valve. There was just a lot of clustered Shepherd Hill defense, hard to navigate through. We're at about 35 minutes, so more than halfway through the game. Score again is Westboro 2, Shepherd Hill 1. I think in the next 10, 15 minutes, this is going to tell you something about our team or theirs. How is our team able to handle a possible competitor that could be considered statistically less talented's not the right word. That doesn't have a certain resume compared to us. We're talking about a team that, is a little bit under 500, but a respectable team against a team that is, got, pretty high winning percentage right now against strong competition. It's a good game. I mean, this is by no means going to be a walk-away or a runaway by Westboro. They're going to have to play at an organized level. They're handling the ball well. They're pushing the ball. They're switching sides. There is some communication. They're seeing some openings. Little bit of extra ball handling here. Shepherd Hill can get back, though, so you have to keep creating openings. We've had some nice give and goes, a nice one touch by Tyler Monahan to Will Glassman, pushed up to, I think that was Agam Prakash. Nope, that was Saad Nazir. That's the thing. There's just a lot of interchangeable parts. So Tyler Monahan, I think, is taking our corner from the right side, kicking right. I think this is number 5 for us. Nice ball over the top of the defense. Picked up by, again, Ayush. Gets around one player, draws some players toward him. And there you go. Christine was where you want him. And you know what? Good for Christine, and a great job by Ayush Prakaria. That is not difficult soccer, but very powerful. And they pulled it off. Now, let's give some credit to Ayush Prakaria. He got around 3 guys. The ball crossed. I do think some of the Shepherd Hill guys were watching that, and I don't think they saw Chris, who I believe is he's either their stopper or he's their center back mid. I think they're playing in maybe a flat line defense. So he's one of their center defenders. And I'll tell you, it's always a great moment when a defender scores. So we are now at 3-1 with 33 minutes to play. I think you can see a couple things happen here. It is a senior night, and I know John Hillier is very, very sensitive, as is Tom, about getting some play in for the seniors. That is we all agree that is an important and like necessary thing. Whoa, that was, I want to say, number 7 again. Ayush Pakaria, I think, got the head on that, and that was kicked by. That was either Will Glassman or Tyler Monahan. Their keeper, Dan Adamuska, had to give that a look, just like we did earlier this game. The crossbar on that same side has been a friend to both teams. So you have a battle here between Agam Prakaria and number 3 for Shepherd Hill, Mike Sobachinsky. He's a gritty player. And I believe Agam is coming back from an injury about halfway through the season. He is such a clutch player. I think, not unlike other teams in the past, Jeremy's team back in fall of 2019, one of our best players and captain, Jack Phelps, was injured for a good section of the beginning of the season, and the team result kind of showed. And then he got into the season and did well. There's again Will Glassman gets the ball across. Can't see the name, the number of that player, but he was able to intercept it. But standing next to him, I think, was Greg Steinberg. That was number 16 again, the player who's taken over for Shepherd Hill, Sean Maple, one of their captains. I don't see, I think maybe, unfortunately, hopefully he's okay, but I do think Jack Barrows is probably done for the night. He is sitting with a sweatshirt on. So, whoa, ho, ho. That was a gutsy play by their keeper, overcommitted. Not a bad idea. There was a little give and go. Oh, wow. I'll tell you, one of the players of the game here is Ayush Kataria. He's done a lot of nice things. So there was a little bit of a give and go between Saad Nazir and Ayush. It's kind of a kickback, and nice foot that Ayush got on it. It just hit some traffic. And a really nice play by, I want to say, number 13, Alec Poirier for, number 17, Tony Booth. Tony Booth had to save that because their goalie kind of misjudged how that ball kind of came in. And he had to get the ball away from, I believe, Agam Prakash. So one of the things I was saying about Agam is he's coming off of an earlier season injury and playing some excellent soccer. And you want to make sure he's not only feeling the fitness, but that he stays healthy. I mean, this is the hard part about these cold nights at this time of the year. This is an important but symbolic game. It's not a make or break game. You don't want any injuries at this point. They're going to have a big game on Thursday night, and it's going to be physical. And it's going to be a bit of a match for both pride and for position. I don't think we'll get ahead of Shrewsbury in the Midwalk A, but if you beat Shrewsbury, which is a highly ranked team, that can only do great things for you. And the other thing too is we got to remember Westboro's going to play in the Division II state tournament. All these teams they're playing are going to play in the Division I state tournament. So we are playing up all year long against competition that we will not be facing in the playoffs. Not to say there's a lot of great Division II teams, but you're playing a high level of talent, which should translate to hopefully a strong outcome in the tournament. The problem is you're playing against a bunch of teams you don't know. That's the big thing now. You play teams from as far north as Newburyport to as far south as like way out on the Cape to as far west. We know west more than we know the north and south. It's going to be the new paradigm. Last year, the girls' team made such a deep run. I think they made it to the semis, state semifinals, and they lost to, what was the name of that team? I went to the finals that they played. It was a great game. Actually, maybe no. I just went to their state semi. Shucks, it's like down somewhere off of 128. I could picture it. Not King Philip. It's like a hyphenated name. So we didn't get very far on the guys' side. We maybe won a game or we lost in that first game against, I want to say it was Westwood. Ooh. So what I noticed is we got a really gritty player in Jack Ferrecchia. Jack's also got a talent, and sometimes you can't overlook this for being physical and getting some plays called. He puts himself out there, which certain players can really do without getting injured. But I'd say he's probably getting about a third of the calls that he's hoping for. Nice gives and goes. So right there, he's got to be careful. Like, I think that's legit for sure. But Jack's got to be careful because Jack, you need Jack. There are players like Jack you need in these big games because he is intimidating. He's fast. He's fearless. But I want to keep him in one piece for the playoff run here. You can see he's failing a little bit, but he is a tough player. There's something to be said for that player that can play that tough, take a beating, get right back up, because I will say you kind of get in the head of the other team. Nice little kick there. That's by Christine. It kicks out. And again, Will Glassman is a nice physical size. He's fast, but he's also got a nice presence. He can kind of like come up over the top of you. He tried to come over the shoulder of his defender. He didn't quite get there. But again, I think the matchup is part of the problem because Tomic Patar for Shepherd Hill has kept them in the game. We got a nice little give and go here. Ball, I want to say, is to... Oh! That, I think, was Greg Steinberg. You can see the goalie is not happy. I want to say that came from Saad Nazir to Greg Steinberg, who it was almost like a practice drill. Like the defense just kind of stopped. That was a nice goal. And again, Greg didn't really hold it for very long. And if that was Saad Nazir, he put it right on his foot. What you might be seeing now is you might be seeing fatigue set in on Shepherd Hill because, I don't know, they just kind of stopped playing there. Same thing happened early in the game. They cleared the ball, but it never really made it past halfway. So Westboro just pushed it back in, and like Saad Nazir just kind of had his way, and Greg Steinberg was just right place and buried it. So with 25 minutes to play, this is where we got to be careful. So we're going to get the call against us, and now you got some jawboning. You got guys putting up arms. I want to say that could be a short shift for number 11, Quinn Campbell, who, again, Quinn's got to be careful. He's one of their captains. This is not what I know John wants.
Senior captain, number 10, Quinn Steinberg. Assisted by number 7, Ty Nasser.
Yeah, that was a nice combination. So here's the thing, too, guys. Be smart. You're a great team. You're really talented. You're extremely well coached. You're up 4-1. What are you trying to do by like being overly physical? That, I hate to tell you, you guys got to remember something. You can get yellows, and you double your yellow, and you don't play the next game. Like if you don't want any of these guys, just keep your hands down, play the game, keep your attitude in check. We need all of you, and if you start to accumulate individual or team cards, that can kill a team. You don't want that. You don't need it. You're up 4-1. The shutout's gone. It's your senior night. You got a great crowd. You're winning, and you're playing well. If anyone should be a little angry, probably the goalie. And he kicked the ball back in the net, and I understand it because I think he was like, guys, you're leaving me hanging here. So it looks like Jack Ferrecchia is coming out.
Now entering the game for the Rangers, number 21, junior, Andrew Iwalski.
Yeah, number 21, Andrew Iwalski, is in the game. I know his dad well. His older brother played with my son. He was a year ahead, Alex Iwalski. So this is, again, another legacy. Andrew Iwalski, another junior, again, part of that really talented class. Ball's being thrown in by number 2, Max Aries. Ball comes to Andrew Iwalski, gets the ball outside again to Max Aries, pushes it back to Greg Steinberg, who I think has moved back. He's playing more the back line of the midfield. Oh, no, actually, he's playing up, and I think Max Aries was coming up on defense. Not sure what the call was there, but I think maybe offsides. So I would say, I want to say John's got about 24 players, and I would say he's played a good 3/4 of them by this point. So you're seeing some nice play across the Westboro team on a lot of levels. I think all the seniors have gotten in. That's a nice gritty play by Greg Steinberg. Gonna let that ball go out. Okay, so looks like this is gonna be a throw-in. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I see. This is a good sign. Jack Barrows does have the sweatshirt off and looks like he could be ready to play for Shepherd Hill, so that's good. Ball's pushed to the other side of the field. Tyler Monahan now has the ball, is able to get around 2 players. Nice push to wide open Saad Nazir, but the nice play coming back by number 23. Oh! Wow, that was a gritty play, and I was afraid as I was looking down to find the name of the guy for Shepherd Hill, something might be going on. Ryan Taylor made a nice play, but it didn't hold up. Again, Shepherd Hill has a little bit of a conundrum here. They come back and make some nice plays. They clear, but immediately the ball is turned around, and it got right down in the mouth. Greg Steinberg kind of got down almost on the turf and kicked it, I want to say, with his left foot past Shepherd Hill. So that's his second goal of the night. I'm not sure who assisted. It kind of felt like it bounced around, and again, Greg just made a nice instinctful play, and it kind of went his way. Nice little kick there. I want to say that was by their co-captain. No, I think that was number 21, who got Dan Gronick. You're probably going to watch a frustrated Shepherd Hill now. They're down 5-1 with 20 minutes left. That's a long game. But again, look at what happened. This gritty player to 21 gets a deflection. We got to be careful. We got to play smart soccer for 80 minutes. John Mall gets the ball across the field. We're able to switch fields again to Tyler Monahan, who kind of moves inside, pushes the ball across. It's skipped off the head of Ayush. Looks like someone went down on that play, but it comes back to Greg Steinberg, who I think he's got the goalie's number. He knows what ability Dan Adamuska has laterally.
The goal was scored by number 10, your captain, Greg Steinberg. Assist for number 6, Ayush Kataria.
Which I think gives, if I'm not mistaken, Ayush both a goal and an assist. If not, he definitely has 2 assists. I'm trying to remember.
The game for Shepherd Hill, number 14, Jack Barrows.
No, Ayush has scored. Yeah, so he's got an assist and a score, if not 2 assists and a score. Saad Nazir, I think, has assisted twice.
And number 23.
So Christine has scored. Greg Steinberg has scored twice. Maybe Saad Nazir has also scored. I'm trying to remember. All right, ball's kicked out by Ayush. It kind of overshot Agam. I want to say Agam has also scored number 23. Jeez, I should have written these down. Our excellent broadcaster downstairs has it all, I know. Again, I feel like we've lost a few more degrees in temperature here. The wind is picking up a little bit. Do we have a temp gauge on this? All right, we have dipped into the 40s. Yep, that sounds about right. Feels about right. But I will say it's a rather dry night. It still feels a little humid. You can actually still see some rain on the other side of the track. So this place is not really dried out. But also, this is a tribute to our town coming off of a special town meeting. Not quite the same outcome. That's all I'm going to say about that. But a long time coming, 20 years in the making, we finally got the field we needed. It got done in 2018. And it looks fantastic in its fifth year. And obviously it drained very well because I would not underestimate that we had well over 2 inches of rain last night, including hail. So crazy. And actually we had rain this morning. So I don't see anyone slipping on this field at all. So obviously hats off to all the management that designed it and constructed it. This field looks nearly brand new, and I love this lighting system. I love where we're standing in the crow's nest here. I mean, we could have a deck party up here. I mean, like, it's crazy. So this is Andrew Volsky fighting for the ball, doing a really nice job. I want to say that's Andrew Volsky. Jeez, no, that wasn't Andrew Volsky. If it was, I guess it was. Ball was pushed forward, but it went off sides. 17 was looking to make. Simon Blyer was also part of that play. Again, I think that's a Volsky part of the play. Ball's pushed outside. Can he get? No, it just went a little bit. It was a nice little tap, kind of give and go by Agam Prakash. Oh, nice step in by Tyler Monahan. Oh, nice push. It gets over the top of the defender, number 9, I believe. Agam tries to jump over the other side of his shoulder. No, again, number 6. Tomic Patar is all over this field. I might have missed it. I think their captain is back in. Number 14. Yes, there he is, playing on the top. Yep. So it's nice to see Jack Barrows is back in the game. I don't think the ball's really gotten to his foot yet. We've been mostly on our side of the offensive side of the field. Agam, ooh, nice play all the way to the end. Again, I want to say Tomic Patar, part of clearing that ball. Ball's pushed to the middle, number 3, another one of their potent players. Gets it outside to 16, one of their captains. You're starting to see a combination of a few players here, 3, 16. They get it to Jack Barrows, who looks good. I don't see any real hesitancy in him playing. And all of a sudden, you've got a nice little combination put together by Shepherd Hill, pushed out to number 11, Owen Kondek, who gets the ball. Doesn't quite go wide. That was a nice little play again by Andrew Volsky. So, again, it's really great to see these players coming in at different parts of the game, able to kind of maintain the rhythm of Westboro play. Again, I want to say, all right, we didn't get the shutout and whatever, but I don't think we've had a 4-goal differential all year. Oh, and we got to watch that because who was that? 16. 16 got their first and only goal. He almost walked that header in again. I think we got to watch that because height just speaks volumes.
Number 16, senior Owen Vela.
And I think we have a new player coming in whose name I'm recognizing, Owen Vela, who is, I believe I think there's only 2 sophomores on the team. John Mall, the goalie, and Yuzhang Zhu. I'm not sure if he's come in yet, but Owen Vela is another. Actually, Owen is a senior. The Vela family is part of a big musical owning entrepreneurial family here in our town. Ooh, nice play by John Mall. Not only gets his body down, but safely he stayed just inside the penalty box. That's a really nice heads-up play by the goalie. He's played a really great game. I'm really happy for him. There's just so much potential. You've got Singleton, Tim Singleton, who's played incredibly, a junior goalie, and then you've got John Mall, a sophomore goalie. There's just so much potential there. Seeing some nice speed by Shepherd Hill, number 11, Owen Kondik. So some of these guys definitely have some legs here with 13 minutes left. The problem is you gotta distribute. You can't do it all by yourself.
During the game for the Rangers, number 22, senior Simon Kavanaugh.
Excellent. All right, so I'm looking down the line. Agam obviously has been in. Simon is in. He's a senior. Reza Nasrullah, I think we've seen him. Owen Vela's been in. Jason Alexander, I'm not sure, but probably in. Obviously, Greg Steinberg. Matt Berger's been in. So we're seeing some really nice distribution of the senior players. This is their night. We have a nice tradition, beautiful. I don't know who does this, probably Curry Printing. If I've misspoken, I apologize to the marketing company who made the nice banners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 8. We have 8 seniors. My son's year had 18. It was crazy, yeah. Made it a little hard for the next year to really come up because I think we only had 7 other players on the team. It was pretty crazy that year, and that was actually John's third team that went the third furthest all time. Jeremy's team lost in a heartbreaker against Leominster in the district semifinals up in North Middlesex in penalty kicks. That was a really talented team among many. John has come back every year with amazing talent. I think there was a known, his name is going to escape me, but he was a best soccer coach who I think has a relationship with Marlborough Public Schools. I think he's their special ed director. His name escapes me, but he said, watch out for these guys, John, when they come through. This is quite a talented team that I coach for best. And a number of those players are the players you see on the field right now. And you could even tell when Jeremy was a senior, when these guys stepped on the field as freshmen, you're like, these are going to be some nice players. Still have a nice crowd here. The student section is very committed. They're obviously enjoying themselves. You got a high-scoring game here. We're 10 minutes out. The score is Westboro 5, Shepherd Hill 1.
Now entering the game for the Door Rangers, number 5, senior Matt Berger.
So I think Matt Berger's coming in for at least his second time this game. Number 2, Max Aries is throwing the ball in. Looks like we're trying to be a little bit even in our distribution of who's going to take the ball, but oh! And I want to say that was number 21, who might be a Volsky. He's hugging everyone, so I can't see his number. 19? That's Reza Nasrullah, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't really get to honor him coming onto the field if I heard him mentioned. But I want to say number 19 playing on the far side is your goal scorer for number 6. I could be wrong, but I think that's Reza Nasrullah, who is also a senior. And he was in the right place at the right time, poised to be hungry to make the play. He's getting the ball again right now. And he buried it with his left foot. Good for him. And if that was one of his first goals of the year, how thrilling, right, on senior night. He's making some nice plays. Whoa. Oh. And that's Matty Berger. So, again, these guys are feeling it.
Major goal scored by number 19, senior Reza Nasrullah.
Nice job. Big fan favorite.
Assist for number 17, Simon Clear.
There you go. So you have a junior definitely getting his first assist of the night, and I think he came off the bench. And then you have a senior coming off the bench getting the 6th goal of the night. I'm not sure where that stands for him, but probably a noteworthy goal for him for the season, and certainly very memorable. This is a tough time of the game for the competition. So we're under 10 minutes. I think John called the timeout. I think Westboro called the timeout. Because we're not setting back up at midfield, so someone scored. But I'm watching the coach of Shepherd Hill. He's kind of a cool customer. I don't know him personally. He's keeping things even. He's not said much to his team. I think if this is the character that I hope he is, he's saying, guys, just be your best sportsman selves. Keep playing. Just keep playing. Again, if I'm looking at their record, the fatigue of the season might really be hitting for them. You know, you're going into your 15th game. You're now a distance from having a chance to get to 500. This was their opportunity, and they might be staring at a noteworthy deficit. They're down 6-1. By far, this is our biggest victory. And you know what? If he's the kind of guy that I think he is, he knows what he's up against. He's not gonna just roll over per se, but he also knows at this point this is a mismatch. And I give a lot of credit to John Hillier and Tom Newbury. This is not boastful. This is not unsportsmanlike of Westboro. They're playing soccer. They're getting opportunities, and they're taking advantage of them. We have 4 or 5 guys that have scored tonight. 4 guys that have assisted. What coach wouldn't want that? I mean, every little bit of the success that this team has tonight will have some positive translation. Tim Singleton is coming in. Who is your other goalie? He is now playing in the field, and I always love this moment. And you can see how excited he is. He's like, oh, my God, like, I'm a field player. Oh, and right there, that is the player that I've been looking for. He just got the ball. He's playing kind of in the, I want to say he's like the center back mid, or the stopper. I can't really tell. I want to say he's the center back mid. Number, is it 26 that I'm looking for? Number 13, Yuzhang Zhu is in the game. He's playing right now. It's good backwards movement on defense. He kept the ball from getting away from him. Max Aries gets the ball, crosses the field. So I think you've got most of the starters out of the game now. Woo. I want to say, who was that came back on defense? 22, Simon Kavanaugh. A couple of these guys look a lot like the other guys. So Simon made a nice job shielding the ball from what I want to say is that injured player, the captain who's back, number 14. He looks good. I mean, looks a little tired. He's limping a little bit. Jack Barrows had a crack at that. Nice play by Simon Kavanaugh. Got a throw in right now by number 17. Ball gets turned over, as has been the sort of the hallmark of Shepherd Hill's transitional play. They're not able to hold it very well. Ooh, I think Tyler Monahan did not realize that was happening. Be careful here, Tyler. You're getting right back into it, but with arms up. Now, Jack Barrows, smart player. I don't think he's going to make that, though. It's not worth the slide. But again, nice hustle. I mean, you would not know that guy took the punishment that he did. He's tired, but he's grinding it out. So I think a couple of things. We've seen a lot of nice play by many, if not almost all, of John's bench players. And I've seen some players switch positions. So, like, Tyler Monahan is definitely playing in a different part of the field. I want to say he's playing, like, outside left mid, if I believe. Kind of moving toward 5 minutes left in the game. Again, the score is 6-1 Westboro. Greg Steinberg, one of the captains, has had 2 goals. We've had goals by some nice players coming into the game. We've had some nice assists and goals by some other utility players, part of the starting lineup. I'm not sure what John Maury's save count is, but it's got to be. John Maury's got to be racking up some saves here, maybe close to double digits. Got 1 assist from the crossbar. They got 1 header. And if I know John Hillier and Tom Newberg, they're going to be talking about that play come practice tomorrow. They do not get a day off. This is a big week. They started on Monday. Big away game and a nice, great victory at Nipmuc, 3-0. Very big emotional win here on a cold but beautiful night at Medwinnie Field, right? Is that what the name of this field is? Yeah. So, again, I want to say this is their first, if not maybe second night game of the whole year at home. Whoa! Oh, I got to hand it to that guy. He got what he needed. John, man, Jack Barrows got exactly what he needed from what I want to say is number 11, Owen Conda. Technically, Owen kind of threw from one arm like a slingshot, but it went over everyone. It came right into kind of the breadbasket for Jack Barrows, who tried to do a half bicycle. It didn't quite work out for him. That would have been a heck of a goal. We're now back in our side, and a good shot by Tyler Monahan. It went to the far side, left side of the goal, so it wasn't really on goal. This is a tough time in the game where your level of composition of play tends to erode a little bit. Like right here, Jack Barrows is just not going to give up, and I'm again really happy to see him in the game. It means a lot that he's both playing and playing as hard as he is. All right, so we're going to watch something here. Number 12 is getting a little chippy here. That's Dan Vickus. Our fans are also getting a little chippy here. Matt Berger, I got to hand it to him. Matty played it cool. He kind of put up his hand saying that was not me. And Max Aries had a nice throw, and the ball kind of ricocheted, went way off the side. And a quick shout out. These ball boys and ball girls are awesome, always. Look at that guy cruising down into the long jump pit to get that ball, and he'll be ready for the next throw-in. And it takes a village. Many great things about Westboro, including the support of the ball boys and girls from Westboro youth soccer. Nice cross. Really very good potential for Matty Berger. Their goalie had to come out and clear it. I'm sure he's just tired of seeing the ball go behind him. But that was a beautiful cross. I want to say that came from maybe Simon Kavanaugh from the far side of the field. Playing the stopper position is number 4, I believe, AJ Tarzia. And I want to say it's either that or number 6. No, that is not number 6. That number, yeah, AJ Tarzia is also in the game. So I want to say John has played everybody. And it looks like maybe AJ being listed the way he is a recent addition to the Westboro roster.
Now entering the game for Shepherd Hill, number 22, senior Dylan Fox.
So it looks like Shepherd Hill is also bringing in some of their seniors. Again, this might be their last game. All right, ball is pushed to the left side. Matty Berger gets a piece of it. It goes past Andrew Volsky. The ball is kind of kicked forward. AJ Tarzia makes a nice move, kind of stepping in, keeping the ball out of our defensive end. Ooh, nice give and go coming down the line. I'm trying to get a view of who this is, but he's keeping command of the ball. He switches it. Good hustle, though, right to the very end here. And again, Tom McPatar continues to just try to keep a steady presence in the backfield. 17 for us, Simon Blyer, who had the assist earlier. Yeah, he's been a nice playmaker for the Rangers tonight. I will possibly be at the game on Thursday night. It's going to be a big game over at Shrewsbury High School, the last regular season game before the Central Mass Tourney for the Rangers. It would put them at 5-3 if they can pull off a win against the Colonials, I think they're called. And that is the final whistle. Again, the final score here at Maywinnie Field is on senior night.
Shepherd Hill 1, Rangers 6.
So again, 6-1 in favor of the boys Rangers soccer program. Nice night. You know, if you're a local fan, this was a fun one for you. I want to give a special shout out to Shepherd Hill. I think they played a really classy, gritty, but clean game. They had a nice goal. Again, Jack Barrows, one of their captains, who also took an injury and came back, is a powerful example for the team. I want to credit their coach for keeping a steady ship when the score kind of tilted on them. Things kind of opened up with about 25 minutes left in the game, and all of a sudden we were kind of off to the races. It was a 2-1 game at halftime, and we scored 4 goals in the second half. So again, this is the widest margin of victory that we've had. Everyone is lining up for handshakes. Want to thank everyone at Westboro Television, including my comrade here on the camera. It's great to see. We were just chatting last night at another big event in Westboro, the town meeting, special town meeting, and lots of follow-up that probably comes from that. I was talking about it in my civics class today. We have great turnout by many people, both students and adults alike, coming out to support the Rangers soccer program. And also a special shout out to the coaching staff for the Westboro team, to our athletic director and associate athletic director, and to the referees tonight. Everyone did a really nice job. So we're signing out, and we're back in action on Thursday night for the final game of the year over at Shrewsbury. And then we have the Central Mass Tourney coming up. So we will be broadcasting soon in probably a similar chilly night. Signing out, this is Greg James for Rangers Soccer for Westboro Television. And congratulations again, Westboro, on their 6-1 victory.
For number 5, Matty Berger.
Oh, we're good. Thank you.
Let's hear it. For number 10, Greg Steinberg. Put your hands together for number 11, Quinn Campbell. For number 12, J.J. Alexander. Big round of applause for number 16, Owen Bella. Let's hear it for the man with the goal tonight, number 19, Reza Nasrullah. Big senior welcome for number 22, Simon Kavanaugh. Last but certainly not least, number 23, Hago. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more big round of applause to this year's seniors and their families. Get those cameras going and take plenty of pictures.